Major championship golf tournaments in Pennsylvania are a common occurrence, and while Aronimink wraps up hosting the best players in the world, something that's never been done before takes place for the Golf Association of Philadelphia.
We had a record number of signups, interest is high, and we couldn't be more thrilled to be here at Jeffersonville for this event.
It's the first ever major at a public facility in the 129-year history of the organization. The reasons Gap says the time is right to conduct the 43rd Middle Amateur at Jeffersonville Golf Club.
I'm excited about that. That'll be the first time that I've ever actually worked it and played it, so it'll be unique.
Seven-time LPGA winner Danielle Ammaccapane leads the effort to bring a Legends event to the links at Gettysburg in 2027. Now the Director of Golf Operations at the links, why she feels Gettysburg is a perfect fit for the tour.
I'll be honest, I was hoping I'd be approached, but I was approached the week before the Masters.
And he's one of the most successful players to ever come from the Keystone State. Now he's back in charge of the United States Ryder Cup team. How Jim Furyk will approach being the captain for the second time in the most important team competition in the world. All this and more coming up on the Fairway Frenzy.
The fans were incredible from the very start of the week, and that just continued as the tournament went on. It definitely got quite loud out there today. I'm very much a foreign player playing here in America, but their support for me was incredible. So yeah, the fans were absolutely brilliant this week.
He is a gentleman and obviously a world-class professional golfer. Aaron Rai becomes just the second player from England to win the PGA Championship in its 108 years. Philadelphia loves an underdog story, and Rai fits the bill at Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square. The PGA Championship is the latest in a long list of majors played in Pennsylvania. PA, one of the premier locations for competitive golf at the highest level in the world. Hello everyone, I'm Todd Sadowski, Sports Director at Fox 43 in Central Pennsylvania. Welcome into our Fairway Frenzy. It's the week before Memorial Day weekend and the golf season is already in full swing. We're going to highlight a few events and individuals that make this another special year for golf in our area. And we begin with a competition that takes place leading up to the PGA Championship that puts the focus on connection. The PGA Hope Secretaries Cup brings veterans from across the country together and shows how the game can make a lasting impact far beyond the scorecard. At Chester Valley Golf Club in Malvern, the annual PGA Hope Secretaries Cup connects veterans through the game and a shared experience of service. For many, the connection is what matters most.
It's more than golf, actually. You don't realize how much you'll miss the camaraderie. And then you find a program like Hope, and it brings you back together with a lot of people that you have a lot in common with.
PGA Hope, the flagship military program of the PGA of America Reach Foundation, uses golf as a form of therapy, helping veterans physically, mentally, and socially.
PGA Hope is one of our best initiatives in the PGA of America. PGA Hope helps our patriots everywhere by serving veterans who've served our country and using this wonderful game of golf to bring community and normalness and life back to their worlds.
The sense of community stretches beyond the course.
It's a great opportunity to meet other Hope people from around the country, establish new friendships, and hopefully they get to enjoy our city.
The PGA Hope program is a reminder that in this game, sometimes the biggest wins have nothing to do with the leaderboard. And now for a competition 129 years in the making. The Golf Association of Philadelphia dates back to 1897 and is unmatched when it comes to providing its members with playing opportunities and competitions. That's why this week's Gap Men's Middle Amateur at Jeffersonville Golf Club is so special.
For a lot of us, it was, how's this going to be received? It's the first time we've done this. We don't know how that's going to go over, and when the registrations opened, we saw a great registration turnouts the first day. But when that registration closed and we saw a record 457 applicants to try and play in this championship, that just validates everything we're doing here.
What they're doing here is hosting a Gap Major at a public course for the very first time. 54 holes over 2 days. The classic 1931 Donald Ross design at Jeffersonville is the optimal choice.
What it showed to us is that all our hard work over the years really have paid off, and that people are recognizing us as a championship level golf course. So that's exciting. You know, we're excited to present a really good test of golf.
Coming up, a pair of women's golf legends help prepare a Central PA course for an upcoming Legends Tour event. Why Gettysburg can soon add to its rich history when it hosts the top senior ladies in the world. Plus, he just won a qualifier for the Philadelphia Amateur with a 63. Played at Northeastern High School in York County and is now a D1 golfer for UConn. How Caden Blanchett uses his passion for his faith and golf on a mission trip to Kenya. We'll be right back with more of our Fairway Frenzy. Thanks for sticking with us on the Fairway Frenzy. I'm Todd Sadowski. In Adams County, Pennsylvania, the Links at Gettysburg is preparing for a professional golf tournament in 2027. Lauren Bradford shows us how a pair of women's golf legends are helping to get the golf community excited for next year's LPGA Legends Championship.
Good shot. It's just like clockwork.
The Legends hit the links for the 2026 Legends of the LPGA sponsor outing.
This is going to be really nice for the sponsors to come in and just something to say, hey, we appreciate you. We're here to help you, and they're going to help us.
Local sponsors are helping bring the LPGA Legends Championship to the Links at Gettysburg in 2027.
It's great for the area. It's great for Gettysburg. I mean, a great place to have it, a smaller city with a great history. And it's great for the Links of Gettysburg. Yeah, we want to support women's golf.
Former LPGA pros and current legends Danielle Ammaccapane and Chris Cheddar had some fun reconnecting at the sponsor outing.
How many years have we known each other, Danielle? Like, I mean, junior golf, AJGA. Yeah. So that would have been
amateur tournaments.
That would have been like 1981, 82.
We go way back.
Very young in junior golf.
We go way back.
The pair also promoting next year's championships, where both will be hitting the links, going for the title.
I've always said, you know, the LPGA, we're a great product that people don't maybe know about as much as we would like. But once they come out to a tournament, they leave and they're like, you know, wow, that was awesome. Why didn't I know about this? So the key is just getting people to come out and experience it.
And after getting a taste of what's coming in 2027, the Legends can't wait to get back out on the course.
I believe I'm going to play, but I'm also going to be a part of it in all the ways that I'm going to be a part of it, you know, and everything that they're going to be doing. So I'm excited about that. That'll be the first time that I've ever actually worked it and played it. So it'll be unique.
Thanks, Lauren. Amazing how the game of golf can be used to make a difference in other people's lives. Here's Alexa Harley with more on a young player from PA expanding his impact on the world around him.
College can be a time of self-discovery for young adults as they navigate life away from home, some for the very first time. For UConn golfer Caden Blanchett, he left Manchester, York County, Pennsylvania for Storrs, where he was enjoying his 2024 freshman season out on the course, but he felt like something was missing. And the Northeastern High School alum eventually connected with UConn's Athletes in Action chapter, which is an organization that empowers athletes to use their sport as a platform to make an impact on the world. And through working with the AIA, Blanchett traveled across the Atlantic to Kenya, where he shared his testimony and the game of golf.
I wasn't playing my greatest golf, so I wasn't really traveling in the spring much my freshman year. I felt like there was some sort of like void in my life because I grew up as a Christian, but I wasn't really practicing. I didn't really start raising money until mid-fall. I had one big event on Thanksgiving where I did a golf marathon and played 150-something holes, and I pretty much raised the entire money for the trip in that one day.
So after his triple-digit golf galore, Blanchett was ready to make the trek overseas to Kenya.
It was my first time in a different culture, so just being like immersed with people I didn't know, a culture I didn't know, a place I didn't know. It was very cool to see like how welcoming they were.
We've been sending teams to Kenya to help grow the game of golf in Kenya, to used golf as a platform for ministry, really since the early 2000s. COVID came and put a stop to all that. And so our team going over was the first team since 2019.
And Blanchett enjoyed every moment that he was immersed in the Kenyan culture. But perhaps his biggest takeaway was, of course, the food.
I had a lot of chicken pies. One thing about the culture is they stop 18 holes of golf. They'll stop after 9, and then they actually sit down for 20 minutes. They'll stop and eat and just keep on talking with you.
All in all, they spent around 2 weeks abroad. The 10-day mission gifted Blanchett with a fresh perspective, not just on golf, but on life.
I was texting one of them the other day. He had a question about golf and talking about the difference between being confident versus cocky. I'd say here in the States, when we're playing in tournaments, kids will often lash out, get very angry with their shots. The kids there were just having a blast. They were just happy to be there. It was pretty eye-opening, and I could take something from this. If they can enjoy and play, no matter what they're shooting, why can't we? It's a blessing just to be playing golf.
And Blanchett is hopeful to get to continue his work with athletes in action and maybe return to Kenya in the future.
There's some things that I know about I can't talk about.
Up next, there's no venue more successful than Lancaster Country Club when it comes to the U.S. Women's Open. I sit down with the president of the Golf Association of Philadelphia, Ken Phillips, an LCC member who says the future is very bright for golf in the Red Rose City. More Fairway Frenzy after this. We are back for more of our Fairway Frenzy. He's humble about his own golf. Golf Association of Philadelphia President Ken Phillips is in the Hall of Fame at his high school, Conestoga Valley in Lancaster County, and his college, Davis and Elkins. Had a chance to sit down with the Lancaster Country Club member to get some details on a wide range of topics, including more major events possibly at LCC and initiatives to grow the game at the grassroots level. Being joined by Ken Phillips, the GAP president now, and Ken, look, this is momentous, historic, and as we've discussed, the association is so, old and historic itself to have a first of anything, right? And Mario was telling us about that. And, why the Mid-Am here at Jeffersonville, and how excited are you about this particular event and location?
Extremely excited. Our 43rd Middle Amateur Championship, sponsored by Parks Casinos, a brand new sponsor for us. We wanted to have a major at a public facility. And so we just started discussing it several years ago and had some conversations with the township and the people here. West Thornton Township owns the facility. And they came back to us after a month of our meetings and they said, we're on. Yeah. So then that started 3 years of our comm team working, with the championship team working, with the public services, member services. It's been a team effort. Yeah, we're thrilled to have it here. Absolutely thrilled.
Well, your connection with Lancaster Country Club, and of course, they've had the U.S. Women's Open for this, but I don't think people realize, you mentioned the logistics. How you can't just do it that summer? No, right, it doesn't just work out that way. You don't have to, got to clear the tee sheets. You got a bunch of different stuff that goes that. But I think that's something that's amazing about GAP in general, about how they handle all the logistics of the competitions and all that type of stuff. But specifically to this, it had to be quite a challenge to make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of good discussions from good people who wanted to do a good thing. And we had 457 entries, the most ever for a mid-amateur. Mid-amateur is 25 years and higher, right? And when we had our first thoughts of doing this, we were talking as a team saying, what happens if there's only 200 people who want to qualify? And I said, I don't care. We're going to have a championship at a public facility. And we all agreed, and so 457 people. I tried, but I shot 80, so I did not qualify.
Well, you're being humble because I know your history, and Conestoga Valley, Davis and Elkins, quite an accomplished player. You guys have a lot of steam, a lot of momentum building in GAP. It's just with the growth with that, especially over at LCC as well. While I got you, I got to ask you, what's the rumblings about other events? Because I've talked with you, I talked with other people about, Women's Open. Sure. What does it lead to? That kind of stuff. Do you feel like that club is I know the Philly Open's coming there.
Philly Open
but
this year.
I don't know. What do we see? Do we see a senior PGA? Do we see a Curtis Cup? Do we see something coming down the road?
There's some things that I know about I can't talk about.
Okay.
But I do think Lancaster will have a very good presence in the game of golf, mainly for female population. Yeah. I know there's been discussions. I hope that they come through with certain higher bodies. Yeah. And I do think it is a perfect venue for a women's event. The course is too short for a men's event, but it is perfect for the ladies. And, we had the 15 Open, we had the 25 Open, 24 Open, sorry. And record attendance, 100,000 plus people, starved for the game of golf. And so I really do hope, I've been a member there a long time. I grew up working there. I wasn't a member, grew up working there. And I hope that it does come true what we are trying to get done.
The Team Pennsylvania concept. You guys are hosting the camp, but I understand that you have a big part in wanting to support this initiative. Tell me about that.
So Team Pennsylvania, the USGA started 2 years or 3 years ago maybe, having I think there were 8 states where they want to, sort of like some of the European countries, they really have golf academies and bring the youth into play. And so we have Team Delaware, which is part of GAP, and we have Team Pennsylvania. And they're going to be great instruction. We have 4 instructors. Scott Nye, renowned Scott Nye, golf professional, retired from Marion now in that capacity, is the team captain, if you will. And GAP's pretty much, along with some other associations, running it, but we have a lot to say about it. I think that if we can give Team PA as 12 girls, 12 boys, give them instruction, give them access to great facilities, great practice facilities, and help them with the game of golf. I mean, you never know who's going to come out of it, right? You never know who's going to come out of it. And Team Delaware, the same way. We have 2 boys, and I think it's 2 boys and 2 ladies, young girls. So, we're really excited. USGA, I think it's a great program for them. Next year, they're going to be having more. I think by 2030, they want every Allied Golf Association or sort of to be involved.
Always appreciate the chance to talk with Ken, and always appreciate the spectacular career of another Lancaster County guy, Jim Furyk. He's back in the saddle again. Why Furyk is anxious for his Ryder Cup captain redo when we return on the Fairway Frenzy.
But I've got so many good friends in Lancaster. Would love to get back to play Lancaster Country Club. An old William Flynn, and I've always held, when I traveled the world, that was the course for me because it was in my hometown, and so I held that standard of Lancaster Country Club to everything.
He's in the record books as the PIAA champion in 1987, playing for Manheim Township High School in Lancaster County, an unabashed Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates fan that admits he does root for the Sixers when it comes to the NBA. Well, I've had the pleasure of following Jim's career for a quarter century plus in Pennsylvania. Anyone remember the Exelon Invitational, when he would host 3 world-class players in a skins game to raise money for the Philadelphia Boys and Girls Clubs? Well, those were amazing events. And Furyk is still at the top of the game, recently named the USA Ryder Cup captain for a second time. Born a short distance from Aronimink and raised in Lancaster County, the former U.S. Open champion soaks up a return to the place that sparks his love for the game.
Actually, really cool. I looked it up. I was born 11 miles from here. It's nice to be back, see some friends, familiar faces.
And for Furyk, South Central Pennsylvania isn't just home. It's a golf hotbed that shaped his career.
When I think about it, Philadelphia, this area has got some amazing golf courses. It was kind of a cool place to grow up.
While this week is rooted in nostalgia, Furyk's focus is firmly on the future. As captain of the 2027 U.S. Ryder Cup team, he's already building the foundation for what he hopes is a new era of success.
We need to create a blueprint. We need to create more continuity for our players and for our future captains. And we really need to start making the Ryder Cup more of a priority.
From hometown roots to leading Team USA on golf's biggest international stage. A local player on a similar trajectory as Furyk is Central York High School graduate Carson Bacha. Carson captured the 2019 PIAA Championship before heading to Auburn University. While there, he was part of the Eagles' national championship team in 2024. He had a quick, successful stint on the PGA Americas Tour, breaking through with a win in Ontario in just his fourth start. Carson qualified for the Korn Ferry Tour and is now currently 37th in the point standings. Keep an eye out for Carson in future events. And speaking of big competitions, another solid schedule for the months ahead. The US Open is nearby at Shinnecock Hills in New York, June 18th through the 21st. The US Adaptive Open always includes Pennsylvania golfers. That's set for July 6th through the 8th at Woodmont Country Club in Rockville, Maryland. The Philadelphia Open at Lancaster Country Club this year on July 12th and 13th. The best junior golfers in the world set up at Saucon Valley Country Club in Bethlehem for the U.S. Junior Amateur from July 20th through the 25th. And then the U.S. Amateur holds competitions for almost a week, August 10th through the 16th in the Philly area at Marion, with qualifying rounds also at Philadelphia Country Club. As you can see, we have another impactful season of golf ahead in Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed our Fairway Frenzy. And we leave you with a look at the celebration of National Armed Forces Day at the PGA Championship, all part of celebrating America 250.